It's the Sabbath, Mother's Day weekend, May 9th, 2026. And if I don't do nothing else, I make my mama proud. Now, I'm not a Kingian. I'm a son of God. I could care less about taking King Inc. to the ends of the earth. I care about taking the kingdom to the ends of the earth. I began this journey at 3 years old in Togo with my spiritual parents, Leon Howard Sullivan and amazing Grace Banks Sullivan. Now, Mommy Grace got Sully to give me this little license thing when I was 8 because they were leaving. I oftentimes talk about them passing me like a baton over to William Herbert Gray and the Dash, Andrea Dash Gray. But there's a period in between there where I ran the streets. My nanny died when I was 8 and a half. So everything they had set up for me when my spiritual parents were going, it collapsed. I didn't fuck with my new nanny. I found my old nanny dead. It fucked me up. And so my brother's mother began to mother me. The great evangelist Nydia Speller. And Mama Fudd, my grandmama, she wrote for me. 1994, January to be exact. Let's back up. 1988, when the Remnant started. That was the year that Coretta Scott King gave Cynthia Dolores Nodis Tucker the Legacy Award. Next year, she founded the Martin Luther King Jr. Association. On January 17th, 1994, Coretta Scott King and the nation celebrated the first day of service. We take days off for presidents, but this is the day that we served. The next day, January the 18th, Dexter Scott King and his development of King Inc. and the monetization of his father killed the Youth and Creative Arts Department, took the staff from the King Center from 71 to 14. It devastated Yolanda. See, Edith Scott Bagley, who birthed the Creative Arts Department at Cheney, mentored Coretta Scott, also mentored the Yokemeister. That's Yolanda Denise King, Yoki 1.0. Yoki 2.0 is Yolanda Renee King. That's Martin Luther King Jr. and Coretta Scott King's granddaughter. Okay, hold that in the back of your brain. Now, January 19th, it was a conference call between all the mamas. See this? These mamas. These are the founders of the King Center, founder of the King Association. These are two of the three pillars of the National Political Congress of Black Women. This is the political pillar. This is the prophetic pillar. And then you got Shirley Chisholm. That was the one that ran for president. Cool. Now, fast forward the videotape. January 20th, I get dropped off at the King Center. I get two things. Copy of my Bible, not this particular one, and a copy of this Bill, Brother Bill. I get told by Leon Howard Sullivan and William Herbert Gray, every answer I need is going to be right here. Now, March 2005, coming out of Selma, Coretta has a stroke. May, my brother, KJ, Kenneth Jerome, is murdered. August is the King family coup. See, the board is set. The board throws Dexter out for abusing his power. Comes up with some loophole. Says the majority doesn't rule. Removes 8 board members. Nothing ever says exactly who he removes. All of Edith's board members. All of Yolanda's board members. Put 8 new folk. One of them, Isaac Ferris Jr. Coretta Scott King dies. Ton of pressure on Yolanda. Ton of pressure on Edith. And now it's the King holiday. It's 2007. Isaac Ferris Jr. Raphael Camilla Warnock and Shannon Jones got some kind of satanic shit set up where they're finna use Yolanda for optics. She freezes the 2007 King holiday, refuses to perform, demands I introduce her. I do. Why are you upset? It don't matter. She do that. My sister do that. They got it from my daddy. I mean, don't question shit. Go. I introduce her. Under questionable circumstances, she dies. Dexter's friend's house, 5 months later. Extremely questionable circumstances. They burn the body. Our daughters are tore up. We got something called Price's Academy, the Fulton County Young Women's Leadership Academy. And they're going into Coretta Scott Young Women's Leadership Academy. I do their graduation. I walk them into the school. They're coming up with this A.D. King Foundation thing. And they're sweeping Yolanda's work under the rug, pulling all the funding. Talking to Jersey Joe, you're going to have to deal with it. And so we go from being a nonprofit to a social enterprise. We take my firm, Urban Entrepreneur, partner with a printing press, Kingdom Press, that wants to do paper church business directories. And we do 403 of them from 2007 to 2015, when Joseph Lawrence Roberts shut his eyes, registered 48,000 small business owners inside of Georgia. We did 8 directories, registered 8,200, registered 500 folk from New Birth, 500 folk from Elizabeth, 400 folk from House of Hope, 300 folk from Impact. Boom, that's what it is. And we run it. 2011 pops up. This is a year. Couple things going on inside of our county, inside of our city. The biggest one is, well, they're trying to lock our teachers up. So that's a clusterfuck. The next one is a bully issue. All right, it's a big deal. Fulton County gives me this personal endorsement letter for the Stop the Bull campaign. Let me get it to you. Jaheim Herrera, an amazing young king. All right. In DeKalb County, hung himself being bullied at school. What was he being bullied over? Being bullied over being called homosexual. Now, simultaneous, Raphael Camilla Warnock has his first youth minister, Wilbur Willis. Wilbur Willis grabs a boy butt cheeks in the back of 114. Raphael Camilla Warnock isn't big on investigating. Neither is Shannon Jones. Both of them have a history not riding for black boys. Shannon Jones just got finished doing public relations for Eddie Long, cleaning up boy shit at New Birth. That's why Warnock hired him. Warnock, when he was the youth minister at Abyssinian, hosted Castro. That's why I got elevated. Harlem, never forget that shit, my boy. Then he goes to Baltimore. When he's a senior pastor in Baltimore, a little boy by the name of Keith gets abused. He from Be More Careful. Got to go in when the lights come on. And so he goes over to a camp hosted by Warnock's church, pees on himself, get in the shower. You cool? No, they lock him out the cabin. Never been in the woods before, you know, lions, tigers, bears, oh my. He shook, goes to sleep on the ball court because it's lights, awakens to a bucket of urine being thrown on him, talking about some initiation. What in the world? Next morning, black mama up there, what the frick is y'all doing with my baby? Here comes Warnock and his youth minister. He likes to deal with shit with third party. And then all of a sudden, he's locked up for interfering with the investigation. Says he's within his legal right. The nigga was on his political assent. Comes into Ebenezer. And when he comes into Ebenezer, you see a picture of myself, my child, my son, and Reverend Dr. Alva Paul Brenton. That represents 5 generations of black boys. When Wilbur Willis squeezes a boy butt cheeks, I tell the boy, mama, they gonna stay with me. It's cool. Go ahead and hang out with your girls. You sure? Yeah, boom. By the time I leave Ebenezer, I got a house at the lakes in Fairburn. By the time I get to Old National, I'm calling the boy mama like, look, what you doing? Nothing. We finna hang out with my girls. Well, check this out. I'm finna bring the boys over to you. I look, they both got fresh feet. I ain't cooked dinner, da-da-da. Don't even worry about it. Look, I'm gonna give you a couple dollars. Take them over to Camp Creek, Marshall's, buy them a little outfit for school, and go ahead and take them over to Fridays, buy them some chicken fingers and french fries, put them in a booth, you and your girl, get a drink at the bar. When the kids sleep, I pull up and we're you know what I mean? So I pull up on Emory. Knock on Wilbur Willis's door, choke him the fuck out. By the time he come to, I got a thumb drive tapped up to his laptop. He got a bunch of boy porn. Now, what you do, you know, with another person, like the relationship you got with another man or with another woman, none of my business. I care about the relationship you got with God, but it's not a man and a man. It's a man and a little boy. I told Wilbur Willis, who the fuck is this? Oh, this is my pastor, the one that introduced me to Warnock. Hey, listen, you bitch nigga, I catch you around my boys, or I catch you around Ebenezer again, I'm gonna break both your legs. The nigga withdrew. And he already fucking confessed on YouTube. So, you know, whatever, boom. Now, fast forward the videotape. And January 11th, or 2011, I threw the Watts Night party inside of the King Center Auditorium. January 5th, my biological mother died. Yeah, I'll do it like this for y'all. January 5th, my biological mother ascends. March 15th, Amazing Grace Bank Sullivan ascends. Excuse me, turn my back to y'all. And then, you know, on Dexter's funeral, Martin Luther King III went behind the desk and said, me and Bernice gonna mention all the women that contributed to this, especially my aunt Edith, right? My mama's mentor, who wrote my mother's autobiography. That's my hip hop hermeneutics professor. Okay, January or June 11th, she ascends. I'm the fuck out. Warnock is talking about ordination because of some of the things that he's involved with. Let me go ahead and make it plain. When you go to selectpatronage.com, it begins with a documentary of Sullivan's life. It starts with him saying that Amazing Grace told him to get away from Abyssinian because that political shit was making him pretentious and getting him away from God. Exactly where Warnock started, exactly where Kevin Johnson ended up. Now, that's imperative when you look at it because in 2005, 2006, when Joseph Lawrence Roberts and William Herbert Gray came into the space of retirement, at Bright Hope, we got Kevin Johnson. At Ebenezer, we got Warlock. Now, Kevin Johnson, we was kicking him the fuck out, okay, after William Herbert Gray ascended in 2013. And he tried to bring Warnock up. It's funny, it really is. April the 14th, 2014, Kevin Johnson hosted Raphael Gamaliel Warnock at Bright Hope, and every usher board took off. Not even the kids were served these weirdos. Okay, so it's 2014. Joseph Roberts gives me the last assignment, the United Nations Global Celebration of People of African Descent. Okay, we're going to celebrate the folk of the African diaspora from 2015 to 2025. There are three principles: recognition of what previous generations have done, the justice, fighting for the least of these, and development, building for future generations. Now, boom, we run in. It's 2022. Told you Yolanda birthed the Creative Arts Department at the King Center in 1982. She birthed Urban Success University. She conceptualized it in 97. She birthed it formally in 2022 because in 2022, or in 2002, excuse me, that is when Edith Scott Bagley and Cynthia Dolores Nidus Tucker, I've identified both of them to you, they close out College for Teens. College for Teens is a program that they initiated in 1995 at Cheney campus that allowed urban inner city kids to have an experience on a college campus. You know, basically, Edith would say that, you know, some kids come from the suburbs where they're provided with all the resources and all the tools and all of the encouragement to feel like the world is within their reach. But then there are certain urban inner city youth who have the same creativity, same anointing from God, same opportunity to be able to change the world and build the kingdom. But a lot of times their sense of self-efficacy, that's their belief in themselves, is stifled due to the harshness of their realities and innumerable challenges they have to face when navigating the urban metropolis, the urban inner city. And so they gave them the opportunity to go to a college campus over the summer. Edith Scott Bagley would say, your mind is like a balloon, boys and girls. And she would take a balloon, she'd blow it up. You ever take a balloon and blow it up? And when you let the air out, it never goes back to its original shape. So is your mind. Like a parachute, works best when it's open. And so they ran that to 2022, College for Teens. And Yolanda ran student government at Grady High School. William Herbert Gray, her godfather, wrapped around her pinky. She say jump. He say ha. She be like, watch your head because you're going to the moon. He ran student government at Simon. So Yolanda has this idea where she's going to take the premise of College for Teens and turn it into a curriculum. Ding! Success for Teens. It's got 8 chapters. It's got 4 principles per chapter. It's got 32 in all. Okay. When you go to Urban Success University, you see the case study that shows we've impacted over 5 million youth nationwide. We're the number one requested resource at a school trauma. You know, some of your friends getting shot in elementary school, school suicide, all those type of things. Do you follow me? And so, you know, like a fake bomb scare. Anyway, 2022, the last dying wish that Cynthia Dolores Nodis Tucker gave the students of Urban Success University was her bestie, Rosa Louise Macaulay Parks, that they lied about. And so in October 2022, the real rebellious Rosa Parks comes out, tells her real story, how she fought for black women, went over and above. Now, if you do not know, we think that Yolanda was killed. And for me pushing the issue, folk, big trying to come after me. August of 2020, fact check me. Grady High School was not going to be named Midtown High School. It was going to be named Yolanda Denise King High School. It was done. Here's your challenge. Yolanda didn't know that she was going to be murdered or die, in my opinion, murdered. And so she didn't have her stuff in order. So Bernice and King Inc. technically have the rights to her name. Didn't return a phone call, so Grady High School is named Midtown High School. Now that pissed my students off, and I'm fighting hard. November 2020, presidential election. I got 3 campuses. I got the amazing Grace Banks Sullivan campus that was the original mini university campus that Mama Grace founded. I got the Yolanda Denise King campus in Atlanta, Georgia, obviously, and I birthed the Edith Scott Bagley campus in 2012 in Wilmington, Delaware. I'm leaving a voting rally in Philadelphia, heading to a listening party in Wilmington, Delaware. I get pulled over by the Philadelphia police on the George Platte Bridge, extracted from my car, shot up with a bunch of tasers, legally held for 6 days, denied my ability to vote as a Boyton. When you go through that type of experience, you see who really love you. You know who loved me? My female student. We be scared. Okay, I got y'all. Let me love on y'all. What y'all got going on? I hear about this $250. Our daughter spending $250 for a stripping license from APD or DeKalb Police Department. Devil's a liar. $150 for you to get an LLC. All right. And then if you follow these steps that we've been giving you inside of, you know, the business funding class, then you can get a car in your name, LLC, you know, all that kind of stuff, and put it on Turo, put it on all these little websites, you know, Airbnb, whatever y'all doing, and get it back. And so, well, we need something right now. All right, let me take all my paper directories. All right, business went from brick and mortar to click and order. Y'all came out the womb with these devices. Y'all know all these algorithms, all this SEO, all this AI, and ultimately your parents don't. So it's going to be a no-brainer. Open your head, take your brain out, close your head. It still makes sense, makes so much sense. Going to make dollars for you and dollars for your parents. What we going to do? All my generative engine optimization stuff, here, take it. Build the digital resurrection of Progress Plaza and give it to your parents. They can get registered for free. They got no solution. Nobody else has any type of ecosystem. If they upgrade, y'all get 100% of the proceeds. Everybody's excited. Yay, Shannon Jones. Yay. They ain't pay attention to the fact that I don't give kickbacks like the old white man with the paper directories did. And so, man, December 2022, 2 boys get shot in Atlantic Station. Shannon Jones, concerned clergy, go on Fox News, December 5th, 2022. Claim the program. It's going to lower teen violence, put a couple dollars in the pockets of our kids, help call on mentors and community businesses. Fast forward the videotape. Finds out I don't give kickbacks, sweeps it under the rug. 3 boys get shot at the Reverend James Orange Park. July 2024, calls a prayer rally, shows up, never prays, spews violence. Okay, I'm going to fuck you up. Don't make me get out the car. Well, you got to get out the car and pray. Doesn't pray, drive off. 11 boys get shot at the 300 block of Edgewood, July 2025. Nobody says a fucking word. We've been running behind the scenes since 2024, where Eric Vincent Thomas promised the kids a safe space at St. Vincent and then pulled out. And so, boom, we finally manifesting this thing. We go to Finch, and they're empty during what we call this spring break. So we put out an alert. Hey, listen, man, we about to blow this summer budget, a lot of our budget, make sure our kids eat. They sent Atlanta News First over to John Bailey's. We were buying Bailey's. Wrap the program around him, say it's all a bunch of bullshit. It's a summer program because they got this Atlanta reinvestment initiative, and all the 501(c)(3)s that's fundraising off our kids would never fundraise our kids. Right where we sit at is in the middle of it, and we're the only ones that are really doing anything. But they done got a lot of fun, so sweep it under the rug. I'm going to tell you. I finally got to the point where I just had to sue Raphael Gamillia Warnock straight up. Next day, I get a whole bunch of death threats. Now, listen. I told y'all this shit was David and Goliath when it started with Willie Watkins burning our girls. Then it moved over to Kenley Waller burning our girls. Then it moved over to John Bailey burning our girls. Our girls. Put it all together, the Carver Cluster Community Coalition got their Carver Cluster Community Coffee and Conversation at FCS. Announced, showcased, FCS missed the first one. It's Mother's Day weekend. And Marv Nesbitt just pulled out after I sued Warnock, after I ran up in the mayor's office. I'm going to tell you, you look at Eric Vincent Thomas, you look at FCS, that fake bomb scare that took place at Carver. Well, the summer before, Eric Vincent Thomas was supposed to bust the kids from SCS over to a safe space. Reneged. Kids bust the joint out, the windows out on his bus. Now, a year later, they came all the way. Marv was happy. Yeah, come on over. His new girl, Kim Jones, come on over. Now, oh, you fucking with our partners in our 501(c)(3). We're not got to control a lot of money. You can't have it here. Let them come over. Now, wait. Because you see my son with Willie Watkins' daughter. You see my son with them. But you don't ever see my daughter. Now the whole big giant thing is, what does daughter look like? None of your fucking business. Now we're not going to have a daughter fight. Motherfuckers done abused my son and his friends. I done damn near died. It's Mother's Day weekend. I had to have a conversation with my grandma. The one that really raised my ass. I had to have a conversation with my sister, you know. February 9th, my grandmother's daughter ascended. My sister's mother ascended. That's my brother KJ's mama. That's my mama. Now, this grassroots shit of getting it done, no matter what, that's some Boynton shit. That's some Scott shit. Them King folks ain't never did shit. ML did. Daddy King did. Dexter ain't never did shit to monetize his daddy. Isaac ain't never did shit. And so, since 94, I carried all of this shit. Niggas want to tell me, yo, you got Shannon Jones saying I'm going to get hurt on video. You got Raphael Gamillia Warnock, the motherfucking senator. Got his security guard with a blazer on work, calling me a nigga, saying he going to fuck me up. Saying I'm going to get hurt, then picking up the phone and making a false police report. You got Willie Watkins making a commitment to provide morning service via Precious Hermans, getting all the digital services, then not paying his invoice, instead reversing his deposit, saying the work wasn't up to caliber. Our daughters put him in magistrate court, hires an attorney, pays him, in my opinion, 3 times what he owes our girls to sweep it under the rug, comes up with a counterclaim, doesn't address the facts of the case, makes it all about me, puts him in Superior Court. Court is the week of November 17th, Yolanda's birthday. The girls withdraw it, because we're not going to put my girls up against Ferris Watkins. Willie Watkins sends his daughter to court. We showing you don't give a fuck about Yolanda. Well, we're doing a deal with John Bailey, buying his shit. Bailey, all of a sudden, one day, you on the fucking news. I care about the boys. Oh, they told me not to talk to you. Who? What's your daughter look like? Marvin Nesbitt, Kim Jones made a commitment. Like, they had this lady by the name of Pamela who did community engagement our daughters loved. Afterwards, they got this pervert motherfucker named Jeff Deck. And what was happening at Carver High School was Carver had a principal. And the principal had gotten too comfortable with the students. And when he got comfortable with the students, he could no longer provide leadership. And what happened after FCS lost Pam is that principal and Jeff Depp, who used to run their community grounds, started opposing my daughters. And see, these motherfuckers, what they do, because we had this one girl that ain't my sister, but we let her get some shine and say she was my sister. Kenley Waller and put her through all types of shit. Got this girl on fake police calls, all types of shit, trying to incriminate me. They ain't my sister. That girl knows shit about me. But it's chess, it's not checkers. You niggas is weirdos. So now any of my little babies, they get fired by jobs. They get pressured. These motherfuckers come up to them and try to get them to sell on me. You never walked our daughters into Coretta Scott in the 6th grade. They 31 years old. My daughter 24. Ferris never came to fuck outside and play with the kids. None of y'all kids did. So when you robbed my house and stole everything, you want my database of all my students. Are you out your fucking mind? I know that's what you after. That's why in all these instances for the past 4 years, let me meet the students, because Keyshawn Middlebrooks was a best friend of my daughter. Now, Martin Luther King Jr. said, a man hasn't found what it means to live until he found something to die for. Y'all gonna hear this conversation with my grandmother. Woman been through all types of shit. Raised all types of folks. Still raising my brother's daughter's daughter. Like, we about family. And I might not have the most polished speech. I'm a private sector guy. I get it the fuck out the mud. Started in the streets. I'm real big on African Christianity practically applied in the urban American context. I don't have political language. I don't have postured 501c3 nonprofit language. I don't play them fucking games. The kids hurt, we gonna feed them. The kids hungry, we gonna feed them. The kids abused, we gonna love on them. Period. You know, these niggas, they claim Jesus, but they all in the Paul. They forget some important parts. Mark is the millionaire private sector. He get right to it. Mark the 10th chapter, the 13th verse. Jesus, then they brought the little children to him that he might touch them. But the disciples rebuked those who brought them. And when Jesus saw it, you know, the religious leaders, they in the way of the kids getting accessibility to the king. When Jesus saw it, he's pissed the fuck off. King James says he was greatly displeased and said to them, let the little children come to me. You niggas in the way. Right? And do not forbid them. He said, you know, on some ATL, you know, culture. Move, nigga. Get out the way. Yeah. For such is the kingdom of God. But surely I say, whoever does not receive the kingdom of God as a little child will by no means enter it. He's saying what Frederick Douglass says, it's easier to build children than it is to prepare broken men. Why? Because it's hard to teach an old dog new tricks. You niggas done played the game backwards for so long. Now that it comes time that we really got to get to it, you can't get to it because you're not a Matthew 25 Christian Warnock. You a John 19. We got no king but Caesar, you fucking colonizer classroom clown. You got every slave master seminary scholarship there is and don't know shit about the master, nor can you master yourselves. Told Donald Trump, the Bible study you in the preaching, what's the old boy name? Whatever the fuck his vice president name, J.D. Vance, leader preaching. You don't preach, pussy. You don't inspire nobody with the text. Everything you got is politically laced. Your whole fucking ministerial staff is satanic. That means you went against God. I'm giving you the text right here, my boy. As Daddy King would say, I'm making it plain. Then Jesus took them in his arms and he laid his hands on them and blessed them. You know, football, real food, and fuck you, Cathedral. We got you on tape, Bishop Mars, taking a picture with me, making a commitment to the kids. You blew them the fuck off in a partner appreciation. You and Marvin Nesbitt. The kids seen you not show up. They seen you not show up. You sponsor lunch for the teachers. What the fuck are you doing for the kids? I'm Baptist college coach. I'm fiery. Like Jeremiah, shut up in my bones. It won't leave me alone. Let's get to Matthew. Let's get to Matthew. I ain't going to 21 yet. I ain't flipping no tables yet. We getting there though. We getting there now. Let's slide through 18, shall we? Matthew, 18th chapter. Meet me in the 6th verse, because Jesus makes this point very, very crystal fucking clear. Matthew 18. I'm at the 6th verse. Jesus is speaking. This is red letter. He puts a face on it. Whosoever, not your title, your position, none of that shit matters. Whosoever causes one of these little ones who believes in me to sin. Bible written in Hebrew, Greek, and Aramaic. The Aramaic Hebrew definition of the word sin is rebellion from the Father, not an action. That's a colonizer classroom behavioral science experiment. So you want to take the pious position, Warnock. You want to take the pious position, Eric Vincent Thomas. You want to take the pious position, Sambo, Shannon, Frosted, Fuckboy, Flake Jones, of being all pious and saying something's wrong with our kids, these kids today. Pussy, if they don't know something about the word of God, it's your fault. Because you niggas slid in 20 years ago, 2005. So when Joseph Lawrence Roberts sent me into pre-Ks in 2014, my pre-K students in 2014 are my 10th graders now. When Fulton County got all the boys together from summer of 21 to summer of 24, I graduated them in custom cut suits. A lot of them are the sons of the mamas that were in that march in 2012 with myself, Ted Jackson, the Fulton County Sheriff, about 75 different organizations, and 1,000 of our Fulton County youth. You motherfuckers in the mayor's office, you motherfuckers inside of the county office, them kids, fuck all of you. They're God's kids, and they're not the problem. They're the signal that you motherfuckers have been spiritually abusing them. Yeah. So Jesus said, if you cause one of these little ones to not get accessibility to him, it would be better if we wrapped a millstone around your neck and dropped you in the depth of the deepest sea. In essence, Jesus said, if you coming away these kids, it'd be better if you just went off and fucking hung yourself. Now, when we show Fitz Elementary, after talking about the fact that was Good Friday, all you niggas was on the radio talking about eating Mary Macs. My kids were starving. We had to feed them. Shout out to Ellis. Ellis went in his fucking pocket. Little baby went in his pocket. Coach Steph went in his pocket. None of you niggas did. You sent Atlanta News First over to sweep this shit under the rug. Then when I finally got timing, I slid in and grabbed Andre's pulpit earlier, made the issue. Then I slide in and I slide around the staff. I go talk to the evangelist boss lady. She like, oh, when you walked in, I knew you was the truth. Well, next thing you know, we sue Warnock, and here go FCS backing the fuck out. Last clip. Y'all gonna see me telling my grandma, after all this shit we got away with, when they pulled me over on the bridge, the biggest fucking fear I had, grandma, was the fact that I ain't get it done. I got it done. The Mompreneur Squad is live. Goddess Empire Builders is live. The Kingdom Marketplace Digital Resurrection and Progress Plaza is live. SelectPatronage.com is live. UrbanSuccessUniversity.com is free. The 2015 curriculum that Joseph Roberts wanted me to release for free is free. 8 chapters, 4 principles per chapter. We're going to get the kids 1 week out of school. We're going to jump in on the 9th. Monday, we're going through principle 1. Let me walk y'all through it. Monday, first week, we're going to go through Little Things Matter. We're going to talk about the points. Little things matter. Knowing what to do isn't the same as doing it on Tuesday. The ripple effect on Wednesday. And then make the right choice at the right moment on on Thursday. Friday, we're going to have a recap. Saturday, we would have Success Saturdays. I'm going to release the entire curriculum on the site. And so you'll be able to see it. It's free. There's so many folk that are talking about we need to provide pipeline. All the politicians talking policy. It's the 501c3 game. A lot of folk don't really want to provide safe spaces. They want to look like they're doing something so they can justify blowing all this friggin' grant money they got available. Then we can have a bloodbath over the summer and they can talk about how they want to clean shit up. On the Reinvestment Authority is the King Center. Day after this shit took place, Andre and Bernice sitting down. Bernice can't stand me because she not Yolanda. Then the bottom line. And Dexter's wife is Leah Weber. King. That's Larry Weber, the billionaire. Daughter, racepointglobal.com. They cultivate the conversation. Why, when you think you look at the circle from the King Center and the A.D. King Foundation and Raphael Camilo Warnock, the conversations are so cultivated. Bernice was 5 years old when her daddy died. She don't know shit about what's going on. She don't know none of the commander's kids. And our daughters, after Martin Luther King III went behind Dexter's funeral, he redeemed himself. He said, listen, me and Bernice gonna mention all the women, especially my Aunt Edith. She ain't said shit. I ain't give her a choice. Go to Urban Success University, blackwomenruntheworld.com, and or Urban Success University, and click on our founding Mompreneur Squad. Go to blackwomenruntheworld.com. It's done. You know, I was talking to my big brother. He was like, them niggas ain't murderers, they hoes. And I know who put that hit out to take me out. I know. And see, being a commander's kid, I came and looked them whole niggas in the face. And my brothers are like, yo, you want to handle it? I'm on some, as I told you, David and Goliath shit. When David stepped to Goliath, oh, we done got out the Moses stuff. Yeah. The next prophet. When David stepped to Goliath, he told Goliath, hey, my boy, you coming at me with sword and spear, political power, big ass budget, all that shit. My nigga, I coming at you in the name of the Lord of hosts. That's the militant God. Same one that empowered Joshua. Deuteronomy 34 is when Moses got to go up, look over, see the promised land. God didn't allow us to know where any Moses tomb was. Why? Because foundation of Moses' teaching, don't lift up any idols. And what would happen is if we knew where Moses' tomb was, we would turn Moses into the idol he warned us about. We want to walk like Moses, talk like Moses, fart like Moses, preach like Moses. Somebody tell Bernice that God used Moses, her daddy, Martin Luther King Jr., over 60 fucking years ago. The message of the Messiah is the same, but the messaging has changed. I mean, Bernice, you only went to theology school because you were filling out law school. And the first time we heard from you, your big brother Dexter had to defend you because you was charging to speak for your daddy. And that's cool because you can speak on your daddy, but you cannot in any aspect talk practically about what we need in our community because you never been one of us. You never interacted with us. You don't know shit about us. You talk from the top down, not from the bottom up. And that's a problem for our children. So little politicians love you, and your daddy gonna always get fanfare, and you always get a bag. You ain't got no fucking kids, so you ain't got an invested interest in our kids. Neither does Isaac. Neither does Leah. And so you motherfuckers then turned the prophet into, and you building $1 million monuments to Baal. Not little Yolanda. See, Coretta Scott King and Martin Luther King Jr., they got a granddaughter. And she really is your mama's twin, Bernice. Because the same way your mama put all that work in for service, and you and Leah want to raise $100 million for your father's 100th birthday, little Yolanda, your mama and your father's granddaughter, the one named after your big sister, she challenged everyone to raise 100 million hours of service. And the last thing that your auntie, Edith Scott Bagley, told me to do was to have little Yolanda's back like I got big Yolanda's back. So I've been donating 33 hours a week to the APS Carver Community Cluster. I just surpassed 1,260 hours. We're teaching the prophetic number 1260 all summer. Now you talking all this shit about how you impacted millions of kids. Where can you show me any of your staff teaching anybody anything? Because the footage we released, and that's what your National Park Service superintendent, Reginald Chappell. How the fuck did Reginald Chappell start as an intern for SCLC, LA? So you worked for Dexter. Then you went to the FBI and fundraised. Now you are the superintendent of the King Center. You know, every time one of our mother pillars die, we get a new superintendent. Coretta died, we got Judy. Now Christine King Ferris dies and we get him. And this motherfucker is going to say on camera, he's not denying none of my permits because every citizen is equal under the law. It seems as though you're doing the same thing in 2022 to 2026 that Dexter did in 1994, which was what? You can't control the kids. You can't speak to the kids, so you sold them the fuck off for $1. And the big challenge you got with me is I'm like my spiritual fathers. I'm like William Herbert Gray. I'm like Leon Howard Sullivan. In this capacity, I'm like Reverend Dr. Joseph Lawrence Roberts, the one God used to keep Ebenezer on Auburn, the one that God used to erect the Horizon Sanctuary, and the only person that didn't give Dexter, SCLC, and King Inc. a fucking penny. Says he got this pastorate from your grandfather. And as the last son of the Heritage Sanctuary, I ain't giving you a dime. I don't want a dime from you. In the direct sales space, it's called PS3, peak interest. Show the plan and get third-party validation. A boycott don't do shit for our folk. It don't raise our children. It doesn't provide jobs. It doesn't redirect spending. It just allows y'all talking heads to act like you got some street cred till you got to admit you ain't got no street cred. We need what my spiritual pop gave your father, Bernice. We need select patronage. We need to withdraw our economic support from companies that get paid on our community and don't do anything in our community. And we need to redirect it to folk in our community that build our community. And the first step is to know who the businesses are in our community. Select patronage. Everybody get registered for free. Go ahead and complete your profile. Go to completeyourprofile.com. It's free. They want to get paid off everything. That's the difference between Yolanda and Bernice and Dexter. Yolanda never participated in the monetization of her father. You know why? Yolanda had me teach the Drum Major Instinct every Tuesday after her father's holiday because that's the one piece of work where you can clearly and concisely see Martin Luther King Jr. as a prophet, not an intellectual giant. Let me get you to understand the difference. See, an intellectual giant has a framework. They have a property. Intellectual property. It can be sold, it can be rebranded, it can be monetized. But the prophet's responsibility is thus says the Lord. And the gospel is to be freely given. So in the Drum Major Instinct, you get Martin Luther King Jr. preaching his own eulogy. And he says, don't prioritize any of the things that they do. Where I went to school, any of that shit that they do. You need a heart full of grace and a soul generated by love. And you can be that servant. Martin Luther King Jr. didn't say, quote me, quote me, quote me. He said, serve, serve, serve. Like his wife. Serve, serve, serve. Like his granddaughter. Serve, serve, serve. Only thing this new clique, this new regime does is serve themselves. And so W.E.B. Du Bois over 100 years ago told us the problem. He said, not in the Negro business. He said nothing. That's zero, zip, nada. Nothing positive can ever take place in a community that fails to recirculate its dollar. The first step in recirculating our dollar is getting reintroduced to everybody. And all these motherfuckers talk about the reinvestment of the South and West Side. Why the fuck are they blocking an independent body raised by the children and the businesses that they can't control politically from the top down? I mean, how in the world can Shannon come at a prayer rally for 3 of our boys getting shot, be recorded, spewing violence, and y'all still sweeping it the fuck under the rug? Because every Monday, he let the politician come over and act like he talking about shit. And y'all in election season, and you don't care about the kids, you care about the votes. So Sully has select patronage. Yeah, 1036. Yeah, Progress Plaza. When you see us teaching the boys how to build a house, you see us teaching them auto mechanics, that ain't new. And Bernice went on InvestFest stage in August of 2024 and said she was going to talk about her daddy's economic plan. And it had 100 ministers. No, boo-boo. It had 403. Same number that I did. And so all of them get registered for free. From 2007 to 2020, we fundraised $1 million and reinvested it. Y'all like, hey, where all your money go? Shit, into these kids. They ain't got a dime for them since then. And so, you know, all this shit, David and Goliath. Let me tell y'all, when David, you know, because Moses was a deliverer and David is a deliverer. But David is the first deliverer to negotiate his bag. What you get if you take out him? Run it. Like that, though. Now, Saul was like, take these weapons. Look, my boy, keep that shit. I don't need that shit. That shit you got to count out of the classroom. It don't work in Islam. You don't know, my boy. I took out the lion and the bear using these spiritual weapons. Same ones I'm going to take your ass out with. Now, in David's mind, let me give y'all a little bit of prophetic revelation. David was a little scared when he had to deal with the lion. A little scared when he had to deal with the bear. But when David had to deal with Goliath, he like, Lord, you done anointed me king. You ain't publicly appointed me king. Fuck that. You got to fall or I'm going to fall because I need to see the glory of the Lord. David said, I had almost fainted unless I refused to see the glory of the Lord in the land of the living. That's a conversation I'm having with my grandma. My mom, I'd die over this shit. You'd have been through too much. And that's it. So last clip, me talking to my grandma about that shit. Hey, Warnock, y'all seen when I took out, Judge Stephen O'Neill, Ruth Bill Cosby. I took him up head up, 2012. Warnock, you're not built for this shit. Y'all Google Robert Nix, first appointed black congressman, the one that my spiritual father, William Herbert Gray, took out. And look at the comparison between me and Warnock. Shit is undeniable. Hey, boy, repent. Because the kid's not fucking with you. And they ran down on Eric Vincent Thomas Church, asked Marty Smith. They was coming to run down on your shit. And we stopped them. And you doing all this shit. Stop saying I'm violent, nigga. The kids that you spiritually abused are violent. And I'm no longer helping your ass. You want to come and get me, my boy. But I'm a boy. And word is on the street, we come for your grandkids, goldfish. Like this shit that Isaac Ferris Jr. did, disrespecting my father. I mean, only thing Isaac Ferris Sr. did in life was fuck Christine King Ferris. I mean, the nigga was living in the Butler Street Y before he started fucking with Miss Ferris. Same with Willie Watkins. Only thing you did was start fucking with Angela. And you niggas want to come up with the Boydens. Man, when Martin Luther King Jr. came to Selma, he didn't go to pulpit. He came to 13, 15 laps. And he said, Mr. Boyden, can you keep me safe? Now 13, 15 Boyden. Y'all want to know what this Anderson shit was? I could see it, but I didn't know the corner of my grandfather's house would be the Boyden and Anderson corner. God's ways above our ways, his thoughts above our thoughts. Hey, man, y'all gonna hear this conversation with me and my grandma. You niggas got my grandma the fuck upset on Mother's Day? After she told me to leave the fuck alone when you cost my family over fucking 50 grand on that fucking deal with Bailey? It's Black America, bitch boys. And I am the prophet. Now, y'all had me in the Richard Russell on March 7th, 2023. Mama and them turning their plate down. God called Naomi March 7th, 2024. You don't get a Clint, a clue, hint. I wouldn't fuck with this prophetic anointing. And yeah, I burned it all. All of it. After that shit, cut my biggest check, burned all my money. I got like $10. And what the Lord wills, he provide for it. We still gonna get this shit done. Anybody want to house this Saturday event so we can have AC? Otherwise, we're gonna be in the park. And if we are in the park, you niggas want to open up the restroom